Today, that struggle manifested itself in a shocking announcement. Kevin McCarthy, the top pick to replace John Boehner as Speaker of the House, from the race amid concerns he couldn't secure enough votes from within his own party. With us tonight, pollster Frank Luntz, plus Mark Thiessen, Fox News contributor and former chief speechwriter for President George W. Bush, and Congressman Tim Huelskamp, chair of the House Tea Party caucus. Let's start with you first, Frank. It has been an unbelievable 48 hours, angry voters everywhere. What does the last couple of days tell you about the state of politics in Washington and, in general, the state of America right now?
There's a poison in Washington, and that poison just took the political career of Kevin McCarthy. Now, he's staying as majority leader, but this is a man who had the capability of bringing together all the aspects of the Republican Party and even bringing over a few Democrats as well to actually get things done. What these congressmen have done, and I won't use any name calling because even though it was done against Kevin McCarthy, that's not productive. There's too much negativity in politics right now. But he had the ability to stop the president's legislation. He had the ability to rally Republicans, but it wasn't enough for certain members. And you'll be getting to that a little later on in your show. This is the first time that social media has actually trumped the voice of the voters. You have the ability now. A few thousand people can actually influence what's happening in Washington, but that doesn't mean that that represents the vast majority. I know three things from my polling. Number one, voters are sick and tired of this negativity. Number two, they want to get something done. They want accomplishments. And number three, they expect these elected representatives to work together, not to destroy each other, not to bring each other down. Kevin McCarthy was uniquely capable of bringing together the membership, but he's not going to get that opportunity now because there are 40 members that believe that it is their way or the highway. And that's a mistake. That's a misreading of what the American people want.
Frank, you talk about McCarthy like you know him, and I know you do, and I know you have for quite some time. Were you taken by surprise by his departure?
I've been spending the last 2 weeks on Capitol Hill, and I know that Republicans, that everyone is upset, that everyone is frustrated, but I thought in the end that people would come to their senses and that they would understand that they're not just there to represent 10 or 20,000 of their most conservative constituents, that Congress is a representative body of the entire institution. And what scares me the most is that people are talking about getting a fresh face as Speaker. The Speaker of the House, this is the most important deliberative body on the face of the globe. And we don't need a fresh face. We need somebody with experience. We need someone who understands the rules. We need someone who understands congressional procedure. A fresh face? Are you kidding me?
There's
you
so
want
much
someone who's only served in
negativity out
Congress
there,
for
Frank.
2 years?
There's so much negativity out there. I mean, we started the hour talking about this new GQ article about Dr. Ben Carson, and you're detailing what you're hearing from these focus groups is that the Americans that you speak to, they see Washington as a mess. There's so much negativity. Is there optimism that we can actually see change? Is that things are going to turn around, specifically with this election?
No, they're very concerned about it, and I'll tell you something. If anything leads, because I was involved in 2006, and I watched the Republican Party tear itself apart, and the members who pushed Kevin McCarthy this time, this is exactly what happened in 2006, this kind of division, this kind of strife, this kind of internal battle, and Republicans were thrown out of office in a landslide. The same thing could happen in 2016, and these congressmen need to be held accountable, that there has to be someone who can stretch across the aisle and stretch across the ideology to get something done.
All right.
And that's not what's happened today in Washington.
All right, Frank, thanks for being with us tonight.